Yes, a little bit. We've got Groovy Grapes joining us. They're talking already about drinking, but there's a lot that goes into it actually before you even pop open the bottle. Michel Bourgeois joins us, your sommelier with Groovy Grapes. Yeah. First and foremost, for people who aren't familiar with the business, what exactly is Groovy Grapes?
Well, Groovy Grapes, we do events around wine, and basically anything that you want to have happen in a beautiful or a special event, we can make it happen privately. Corporate business as well is something that we do a lot. It could be very educational, it could be anything around fun, a special event.
I think a lot of people too, when they're entertaining, something that's different and fun is to have people come in and experience and try different wines, because a lot of the times you're not going to do that when it's just you or you're just inviting friends over.
Exactly, and a lot of people want to know more about wine, so education is a big part of it as well. So a lot of people, oh, I have a question about this, question about that, so it's a lot of fun.
What do you get asked most often?
Wine service temperatures is something that we have as a question, which we'll get into very soon. Let's talk about opening, the basics of opening a wine bottle. First, let's open sparkling wine. For celebrations.
There's lights and there's lots of things up there. So
well, it's actually one of the basics.
You probably know exactly how to do it so nothing goes flying.
Well, one of the basic rules actually is what you want to do is not to have the wine bottle pop. So there's a lot of pressure in this bottle. You have to remember that it's very dangerous actually, very dangerous for the eyes. So when you actually take this little cage off that you see, you have to make sure that you're retaining the cork. Now, what you don't want to do is actually force it open. Now, if you win the Stanley Cup, by all means, go ahead and shake, pop it open. Well, of course, if it is a celebration, you're going to be pouring it all over your friends. But if you're going to be appreciating it, actually what you want to do is retain it. So try to use some type of linen like this. And the secret is to keep your hand on the cork, actually. Okay, and you're going to be turning the bottle instead of the cork. Now, this one is a little tougher. What you want to do is keep your hands on the cork as I'm doing here and just turn the bottle. So what you're doing is you're retaining the cork and you're never taking your hand off. So as you can see,
there goes the pop.
There's no pop, there's no actual flying
explosion
off. And you're keeping all the bubbles inside, you're retaining all the freshness of the wine. And when you do pour, you want to pour delicately because, of course, the bubbles are part of the enjoying of this wine. Well, I guess I'll pour your glass as well.
You know, we might as well go.
Exactly.
It is the bevy show. We started it about an hour ago, so we're all good.
There's not much in the glass, but we can finish it off a little later on. For red wines, well, actually, you probably have some practice with this. Easy enough. Most bottles all have this ring that you see here. What you want to do is have a clean cut with the wrapper when you take it off. So you can do, of course, just taking off the top here, but what you want to really do is from the bottom lip here, you can turn the bottle, it's not that much of a big deal. And then just a little cut here. And of course, the whole thing should come off fairly easily. Okay? So
yeah, so the best way is not to stick it in at the top and then and then the next thing you know is it's winding all the way down and you've ruined the entire label.
You need the wrapper, you need a clean cut from the wrapper first. And then, of course, you just turn it in fairly easily. What you want to do is not go too far in because you don't want bits and pieces of the cork inside the wine bottle.
Now you're using old style, old school. There's so many different bottle openers these days. Does it matter, or really the basic is really going to do the trick? Because some people have, me included, have trouble with those kind of openers.
Well, of course, these are more of a professional style. They call them pull taps in the style, and this is what you use in restaurants. Of course, they're smaller. You can put them in your pocket. You don't want to have the big things coming up at the restaurant at your table. So this is basically the professional style, which I enjoy using. I don't actually own the other ones. But as I said, it doesn't really matter. The basic thing is not to have bits and pieces of the cork go into the wine.
Okay. In the next segment, too, we're going to talk a little bit about which glasses, the stemware, and also the difference between using the decanter, using a craft, and what it does for the wines. Perfect. Great information. Can we at least cheers this one? Nothing like sparkling wine in the middle of the morning. Cheers! We've got still plenty more to come. Stay with us. We'll be back right after the break. And we've got
groovy, that's groovy.
You can moonlight as a soda jerk. All right, we have another segment with Groovy Grapes now. Michel Bourgeois is with us. He's our sommelier. So at this point, we're going to talk about the whole process of decanting and the proper stemware, because this is all part of the wine experience.
It is, actually. Most people, well, as you can see, we have a decanter here. A lot of people get these as wedding gifts, put them away, and hardly ever use them.
They put them on display.
Exactly. They're very nice, but they're also actually very useful. Traditionally, what you'd be using a decanter for is you'd be pouring the wine in the decanter actually very slowly, because what you want to do is separate the wine from the deposits that will form in the bottom of the bottle as it ages.
So if you're just opening up a bottle and pouring it from the bottle, what are you missing by not decanting it?
Well, as I mentioned, decanting is actually separating some deposits that can form in the bottle, but nowadays the wines are big and bold. What you want to do actually is be fairly quick in pouring the wine, because what you want to do is having the wine in contact with the oxygen.
Yeah, it's breathing.
Exactly, that's what you want to do, because contrary to when the wine is in the bottle, you want to limit the amount of oxygen in contact with the wine, but once you open it, you want that oxygen definitely to help open the wine, the aroma. So that's what you'd be doing today with your decanter. So you should, or carafe actually,
yeah.
You should use it fairly often to bring all this oxygen in contact with the wines.
So if you're having a dinner party, how soon before the meal should you decant before you start serving it?
Depending on the style of wine that you have, big and bold wines can be decanted or carafed fairly a long time beforehand, up to an hour.
Okay.
But actually, I like to see how the wine, you get to discover the wine throughout the minutes when you do open it. So definitely you can decant it, carafe it, get the oxygen. And as you can see, we have this beautiful stemware here, 2 different styles. Okay. These are actually, as you can see, fairly big, not because you want to drink a lot, but definitely because this style of glass gives you a lot of room for the oxygen. And nowadays, the companies actually make stemware for the types of grape or grape varieties.
Yeah.
So this is more of a Cabernet Sauvignon Shiraz style stemware, and this can be a white wine glass, but also red wines for those more delicate red wines.
Yeah, it seems like more and more the glasses, the wine glasses are getting bigger and bigger now. You've got these huge fishbowl glasses. And
but as I mentioned, what you have to be careful not to do is to fill it too much.
Well, that's it. You're,
exactly.
You always end up pouring too much.
If you compare the amount of glass, the amount of wine in the glass, you can see that there's fairly a good amount of wine in the glass.
That's all you need in that large glass. You don't fill it up to here.
So this style of wine, you can see it's fairly big and bold. The color is very deep. So this is definitely a style of glass that help you enjoy this style of wine.
Oh, that's nice. What is this wine that we're working with?
This is a Merlot, actually, from Chile.
Chile.
And very nice, very blueberry on the nose, and then the flavors. What the carafe will actually help to do as well is to regulate the temperature of the wine. Wine service temperatures are very important as well. A lot of people are red wine drinkers, don't drink a lot of white, and when I ask them why, they say, well, they all taste the same and they're very acidic. But upon investigating, what happens is we put our white wines in the fridge when we get home.
Right.
And your refrigerator is between 2 and 4 degrees Celsius, which is very, very cold actually for a white wine.
Oh, too much.
So of course, white wines, we do drink them cold, but not too cold. You have to bring the temperature up so that you can appreciate the aromas, because white wines do have beautiful aromas as well. And you can use a carafe for white wines, although it's not usually made for that, but if you want to bring the temperature up, but definitely just pouring it into the glass will bring the temperature up a few degrees.
I know that often Groovy Grapes is hosting seminars and workshops and dinners. I guess people can get all the information of all your upcoming events on your website?
They can visit our website, groovygrapes.com, and actually you can sort of just put in your ideas. There's a place for that on the website, and get a quote. And whether it be corporate or a private event, we'll definitely make it special.
Fantastic! What a great idea to have, an interactive dinner with a sommelier. Learn a little bit more. There's so much to learn about wine, as we're saying. We could do a whole show on just the wine. Thank you so much, Michel. All right, coming up, we're going to talk summer beers. Some are not.